To end task 1, I want to talk a little bit about the overall workflow of completing the technologies preparation and setup. It can be a little bit overwhelming, so I'm just going to give you kind of the really brief overview of everything so you can kind of get a general idea of how long these steps can take. So, to start with, we need to log into K-State Online, of course. So we'll log into K-State Online to the Technology Preparation and Setup version 10 course. If you can't find it, you definitely need to email me as soon as possible so we can get you added in. Give me about 72 hours to get it added in. Once you get to K-State Online and you can locate the course, it's recommended to start at the very top of the table of contents and just work your way downward. After that, we have a couple of items that are very time sensitive. So the first one is going to be the Part 1 before campus arrival. And just as the name suggests, these items need to be completed before you arrive on campus. The problem that most students have is they underestimate the amount of time that it takes to complete Part 1. Part 2 is the after campus arrival. So as the name suggests, you can't complete this part until after your computer arrives on campus. You actually need to be on the college network in order to complete Part 2. So Part 1 can take a pretty long time. Sometimes it takes 5 to 6 weeks to complete all of that. Part 2 usually takes between 15 to 45 minutes, depending upon if you've done it before and how tech savvy you are. So just kind of a note, Part 1 does take a very long time. You don't want to wait until after classes start or the weekend before or the week before classes start. I'm going to say that it takes about 5 to 6 weeks. I want to stress that again. I know we said it before, but it takes a long time, so definitely don't slack on Part 1. So Part 1 is composed of Task 1 getting started, which is what we're kind of doing now, giving you an idea of what all is involved. Task 2 involves network security. We recommend everyone to go through this as we have problems with this every single year. Task 3 covers the hardware recommendations. So again, if your computer doesn't meet the hardware recommendations, it's going to take you a little while to order parts or take it to a shop, and it may end up being where you have to buy a whole new computer. And again, all of those things take time. Task 4 is operating systems. You'll need to make sure that your computer is running the correct operating system. If it is not, again, this part can take some time because you'll have to take it to a technician to get it reformatted. Task 5, system restore image. This allows you the ability to save everything that you've done up to this point. And Task 6, software, which can take just as long as Task 3 and 4, as there is a ton of software that you'll need to install on your computer. Finally, we get to Part 2, and this is after your computer arrives on campus. Your computer will actually need to be on the network to complete the network setup. Task 8 is additional software, so most of it will be within Task 6, but you'll have another opportunity here to get it installed if you find that your internet connection is just simply too slow to download software. Finally, we get to the later half of the network setup. So we have Task 9, which includes additional resources. A lot of this has to do with plotting information, other things such as using OneDrive, using the Canvas course, kind of FYI type of things. A lot of people like it, some people don't use it at all, but it does contain information or resources that can definitely help you get things done a lot faster or more efficiently. And finally, we have the leaving campus procedures. Many students tend to forget about this portion of the technology setup and preparation. We like to email students to remind them to complete this before they arrive, before they leave, but a lot of students towards the end of the semester are quite busy and tend to forget this. So if you're a returning student and you haven't completed Part 3, you'll need to do this before you start with Part 1.